The Warriors did it. They got a superstar teammate for Steph Curry. So the trade is the Warriors get Jimmy Butler, the Heat get Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick. Pistons got Lindy Waters and Josh Richardson, and the Jazz get Dennis Schroeder and a second-round pick. Then Jimmy signs a 2-year, $121 million extension to stay in Golden State, which is huge. 24 hours before, dude said he would not sign an extension there. Like he's trying to cause problems in the locker room before even joining the team. But before we get to the potential locker room issues, how did this even happen? Well, the Heat wanted back short-term money. A fan even got to break the news to the players during a game.
Got Kyle Anderson, Dennis Schroeder, and Andrew Wiggins. First-round pick protected.
So now they can have max cap space in 2026. And the big fish that summer is Luka Doncic, which of course would have sounded insane like a week ago. But now, who knows, right? I mean, the Heat are betting that things go so south in LA that Luka doesn't sign an extension. They will be waiting with a max contract for him. Join Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero in South Beach. But Jimmy wasn't even the Dubs' top pick. But we've been having a ton of success on Underdog recently. We've made a little money, which isn't why I play. I just play Underdog to make every night watching games a lot more fun. Because with Pick'em, I pick higher or lower on stats for whatever players I'm going to watch that night. And yes, there is money, especially in their game streaks, because if you hit 11 in a row, you can 1,000x your cash. So let me give you my 2 picks for tonight. Jamal Murray, lower on his assists, and Alperen Şengün, higher on his points. And best of luck if you're tailing those picks. Check out this map to see if Underdog's available in your area. You got California, Texas, and Florida with their game champions. But please use my promo code AMHOOPS when you sign up, because it really helps out the channel more than anything. Plus, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special free pick. It leaked that they were going hard for Kevin Durant. Dude is 36 off an Achilles tear, but they know he fits with their system. Won 2 championships. But a shocking report, Mark Stein and Jake Fisher said, Durant has some serious reservations about a second Warriors stint if he were to be shipped there. Why? Because of Draymond Green. Remember, before KD left to Brooklyn, he and Dre got in a huge fight on the bench. Draymond said to him, "We don't need you. We won without you. Leave." That is the biggest insult KD can receive. We all know he is super insecure about people saying that his championships don't count, that he cheated going to the 73-9 Warriors. So for a teammate to say that to him, oh yeah, the two made up, went on a podcast together. But when it actually came down to rejoining that team, KD said, no, not as long as that guy's there. But KD still has not signed an extension to stay in Phoenix, so he is available. Maybe Houston goes after him, maybe Miami, who knows. But Jimmy Butler told Golden State no extension before because he wanted Phoenix. I mean, at first, Jimmy told Miami, yeah, I'll go anywhere but here. But then his wish was Phoenix only. He was trying to scare the Dubs, but the Suns couldn't get it done. No one wanted Bradley Beal's contract. Beal has a no-trade clause anyway, so even if like the Pistons said, yeah, we'll take him, Beal held all the cards. So once Phoenix was impossible, Jimmy opened up to Golden State. But the number one concern, of course, is the locker room. Kevin O'Connor even said this week that according to league sources, Stephen Curry specifically has concerns about Jimmy Butler's fit in the Warriors locker room, and Steve Kerr shares those feelings. When the deal looked dead, a fan said, I'm glad Jimmy's old, childish, and too expensive. So why did they get him? Well, Steph is 36 years old with maybe 2 peak years of basketball left. The Dubs are in 10th place, going nowhere. This summer, they went hard after Lauri Markkanen and Paul George. Both teams wanted Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, or both, and a boatload of picks. So they got Jimmy Butler for just Andrew Wiggins role players in one protected pick. That is huge. Some fans might be angry that they got Jimmy, but you gave up nothing. Okay, Andrew Wiggins isn't nothing, but Jimmy plays defense too. All-stars do not come this cheap. I mean, we just saw Mikal Bridges go for 5 first-round picks. The Warriors front office knew, yo, this opportunity is never gonna come again. We get to keep all our young guys, almost all of our picks. And yeah, Jimmy has been a problem for every locker room. I mean, he is great, but on NBA team number 5 now, that's a red flag. But here's a little secret about Jimmy Butler. he is only a problem when his money is in question. I mean, think about it. The Bulls didn't want to pay him, so he wanted to trade. The Wolves refused a max contract, he threw a fit. Sixers paid Tobias Harris over him, and now the Miami thing. I mean, the dude wanted to retire a Heat. And he was great until Pat Riley said no contract. But every time Jimmy's gotten paid, he's been amazing. And the fact that Golden State locked him in for 2 years, I guarantee the next 18 months will be peak Jimmy Butler. So how does he fit on the court? Well, remember, top 2 in the West are OKC and Dallas? Until they intentionally ruin their team. Yeah, Denver's great, but this thing is wide open. So their starting 5 will be Steph, Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and I don't know, like Quentin Post or Trace Jackson Davis at center, that's a problem. Off the bench though, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Brandon Podziemski. Jimmy is 35 years old with questionable availability and motivation in the regular season. I mean, he hadn't played more than 64 games since 2019. I mean, it got so bad that was the #1 problem for the Miami Heat. But he is a huge finisher at the rim who gets to the foul line, hits a ton of free throws. The big issue is 3-point shooting, with the exception of like a playoff run. I mean, playoff Jimmy is a real thing, but the Warriors are gonna have 3 bad shooters: Jimmy, Draymond, and Jonathan Kuminga. Steve Kerr is gonna have to stagger their minutes, never play Jimmy, Dre, and JK at the same time. Speaking of that, how is JK gonna feel about never closing games? You can't play all of them in crunch time. And maybe by the time you watch this, they have traded Kuminga for an actual center. But the defense is going to be amazing. And the best Golden State teams have always been elite defensively. And half that offensive pressure is taken off of Steph's shoulders. And it's so cool that the Dubs were this motivated to not waste the final years of Steph. And heck yes, that was the right decision. We have seen this dude recently hit the night-night in big moments this year. He won a gold friggin' medal as the best player on a dream team a few months ago. Steph clearly has another championship run in him. He just needed some help. And it was great of Steph to say the other day, oh, we don't have to mortgage our future. I mean, that was so unlike most superstars who throw a fit like, I don't know, Jimmy Butler or LeBron James, but the Warriors had his back. It was a huge sacrifice to let Clay go to get flexibility to make a trade like this. Then they go after Markkanen and PG. Got so desperate, they called the Sixers about PG again. Go after Kevin Durant, but I think Jimmy is amazing. They didn't want one of those lesser stars like a Zach LaVine or a Brandon Ingram or De'Aaron Fox. No offense to those guys, but Jimmy is different. He has carried teams to the finals like Pete Kawhi. And people who are worried about his attitude, no. Whenever he feels appreciated money-wise, which he is now, dude is a beast. So this has been by far the craziest NBA trade deadline of all time. I mean, just look at this. Okay, Jimmy Butler is on the Warriors, Luka to the Lakers, Wiggins on the Heat, AD in Dallas, Zach LaVine's a king, De'Aaron Fox plays with Wemby, Brandon Ingram off to Toronto, Kyle Kuzma's a Buck, and Chris Middleton is on the Wizards. That sucks. It's like a whole new NBA. I honestly feel like the Luka deal like motivated all the other front offices to do their trades. They were like, screw it, let's go. But why did the Mavs trade Luka? That started all of this. Well, what's wild is that the trade is so crazy, it takes an insane conspiracy theory to actually make sense.